So today we're going to look at section 1.5, day 2 of the special angle pairs, building off of what we learned yesterday. So we're going to start out with this picture, and it asks us to tell whether the indicated angles are vertical angles, a linear pair, or neither. Remember, vertical angles, you have to have an X, right, or two lines intersecting each other, and they cannot share any common sides, only a common vertex. Okay? They're directly opposite or across from each other. A linear pair, those are adjacent angles that make up a straight line together. So first we'll look at angle 1 and 2. So up here 1 and 2, they are side by side, they are adjacent, they have a common side, a common vertex. They are on a straight line together, so this is a linear pair. The next set, angle 1 and angle 3. Angle 1 right here, angle 3 right here. They are directly across from each other, no common sides, but a common vertex. They have intersecting lines, so they are vertical angles. And remember from yesterday, we learned that vertical angles are congruent. Angles 4 and 2. 4 and 2, okay, they are not together to make a straight line, and they are not directly opposite from one another as vertical angles would be, so these are neither. Angles 4 and 5. 4 and 5, okay, they are adjacent, they sit side by side, but they are not a linear pair because it would take all three of those to make a straight line. So they are neither as well. 6 and 8, 6 and 8 down here, again, I've got two intersecting lines. They're directly across from each other, no common sides, so they are vertical. 8 and 9, 8 and 9, they sit side by side. They're adjacent. They share a vertex and a side, and together they make up a straight line, so they are a linear pair. And we're looking at 7 and 10. 7's over here, 10's way over there. Yes, they're both on a line, but they have to be adjacent. They have to sit side by side to make up a linear pair. So they are neither. 10 and 11. 10 and 11, they sit side by side. Together they make a straight line, so linear pair. So that's just a review of day 1. So now we're going to look at these next problems. Here it tells me that the measure of one angle is 7 times the measure of its complement. Find the measure of each angle. There are two different ways that I can work this problem, so I'm going to show you both ways. Okay? So first, I just need a variable for my first angle. So I'm going to say angle 1 is equal to x. I'm going to call it x. So if I do that, then angle 2 tells me it's 7 times. So I can just say it's 7x, 7 times x. I know that these are complements of each other because it says the measure of its complement. So I know that these two together have to add together to equal 90. So I can just set it up, angle addition postulate, x plus 7x equals 90. Combine like terms, I get 8x equals 90. I get x equals 11.25. So therefore, find the measure for each angle. I can say the measure of angle 1 equals 11.25 degrees. Measure of angle 2, two ways I could find it. I can either take 11.25 and multiply by 7, or I can take 90 minus 11.25 and get 78.75 degrees. So let's look at the other way, or we could do it this way. Again, I would have to start out naming an angle. So I'm going to name angle 1 x again. This time, angle 2, I know it's the complement of angle 1, so I could say angle 2 is 90 minus x. Now I'm going to write an equation based off of what this says. It says the measure of one angle, so angle 1 is x, is always means equals in math, is 7 times the measure of its complement. The complement was the 90 minus x. So here I would want to distribute my 7. So I have x equals, so 7 times 90 gives me 630 minus 7x get all of my x's on the same side. So now I have 8x equals 630. Divide by 8, so I get x is equal to 78.75 degrees. So this time my angle 1 is 78.75 degrees. And angle 2, again, 90 minus 78.75, which is 11.25. See, it doesn't matter which one I call angle 1, angle 2, I still get the same answers. All right, next one. The measure of one angle is 47 degrees less than the measure of its supplement. Find the measure of each angle. Okay, so angle 1, I'm going to call x. Angle 2, okay, we're talking about supplements this time. So I know together they have to be 180. So angle 2 is going to be 180 minus x. So now I'm going to write my equation. The measure of one angle, okay, so that's angle x, or sorry, angle 1, which I called x, is equals 47 less than its supplement. So its supplement, 180 minus x. 47 less than means to take away 47, so minus 47. So now on the right-hand side, I just want to combine the 180 and the negative 47. So I end up with x equals 133 minus x. Add x to both sides, so I get 2x equals 133. Divide by 2, and I get x is 66.5. So the measure of angle 1 is 66.5 degrees. The measure of angle 2 equals 180 minus 66.5, which is 113.5 degrees. Let's look at another one. Two angles form a linear pair. Remember, linear pair means they're on a straight line together. Therefore, they have to equal 180 degrees. The measure of one angle is 15 times the measure of the other. Find the measure of each angle. So angle 1, again, I'm just going to call x. Angle 2 is 15 times that, so 15x. The angle addition postulate tells me I can add them together. X plus 15x equals, it said it was a linear pair, so I know that means it equals 180. Combine like terms, so 16x equals 180. Divide by 16, x is 11.25. So the measure of angle 1 is 11.25 degrees. The measure of angle 2, 180 minus 11.25, 168.75 degrees. Let's look at the next page. Again, this is kind of a review of what we were doing yesterday. So I have to be able to identify what type of angles they are and what I know about them. We just want to solve for x and y. I see that these two are a linear pair. So I know that they would add together to equal 180, but one's an x and one's a y. So that's not going to do me any good. So I look at the other line. These two are also a linear pair. They both have x, so I can add them together and solve for x. So 25x plus 8 plus 9x plus 2, they're a linear pair, equals 180. Combine like terms, so 25x plus 9x gets me 34x. 8 plus 2 gets me 10, equals 180. Subtract 10 from both sides, so I get 34x equals 170. Divide by 34, x is equal to 5. No degree sign because I did not find an angle. Now I have options. Now I know that x is equal to 5. I know that these two are vertical angles. I know that vertical angles are congruent, so I can just plug 5 in for 9x plus 2. So 9 times 5 plus 2 equals 47. So I know that this angle is 47 degrees. So I know that this one is also 47 degrees. So now I can say that 7y plus 5 equals 47. Subtract 5 from both sides, so I get 7y equals 42. Divide by 7, y equals 6. That's not the only way that I could have solved for y. That's one possible way that I could have. All right, so now let's look at the next one. Identify the types of angles. Again, these two together, linear pair, but one's an x, one's a y, not going to do me any good. These two, linear pair. Again, x and y, not going to do me any good. So I need to look at what else do I have. So what else do we have? We have vertical angles. These two are vertical, so I know that this one and this one are congruent. So set them equal to each other. 11x minus 24 equals 7x plus 30. I need to get all of my x's on the same side, so I'm going to subtract 7x over, and when I do that, I get 4x minus 24 equals 30. Add 24 to both sides, so I get 4x equals 54. Divide by 4, x is 13.5. Again, no degree sign because it's just the variable. Now, y's, okay, 5y plus 38, 17y minus 4. Again, vertical angles, so those two are congruent. So I could say 5y plus 38 equals 17y minus 4. Subtract 5y over, so I get 38 equals 12y minus 4. Add 4 to both sides, so I get 42 equals 12y. And finally divide by 12, so I get y is equal to 3.5. All right, one last problem. It tells me A and B are complementary angles. What do I know about complementary? Remember, complementary means they add together to equal 90. Find the measure of angle A and the measure of angle B. Okay, so again, angle addition postulate tells me I just add them together. 17x plus 2 plus 5x equals 90 since they're complementary. Combine like terms, 17x and 5x gets me 22x plus 2 equals 90. Subtract 2, 22x equals 88. Divide by 22, x is equal to 4. Here they asked me to find the measure of the angles. Okay, so I plug this in. I can plug it into either of them. I see that if I plug it into measure of angle B, that's going to be really easy. Measure of angle B is equal to 5 times 4. So the measure of angle B equals 20 degrees because I found an angle. I could plug 4 into the 17x, 17 times 4 plus 2, or I know that they both have to equal 90. So measure of angle A is just going to be 90 minus the one I already found. So 90 minus 20, 70 degrees. There's A and B. So that is the second half of section 1.5, angle pairs.